Hi everybody, it was a big week. We had an important vote on repealing the medical device tax, one of my priorities for a long period of time, and we had a significant vote, a bipartisan vote in the House of both Republicans and Democrats, getting rid of a bad policy, protecting a lot of jobs in Minnesota. We also voted on a couple of initiatives in healthcare savings accounts, which we've talked about in our video conversations in the past. Also some bipartisan support for that. Passed in the House, helps on healthcare costs. We'll hear more about those initiatives later. Let's get to our questions. And first we have an email from Samantha in Bloomington who emails in, Dear Representative Paulsen, the demand for shark fins is one of the greatest threats that's facing shark populations around the world. The Shark Fin Trade Elimination Act would remove the United States from this devastating trade. Please support the Shark Fin Trade Elimination Act, which will help to reduce the international fin trade market, improve upon current enforcement capabilities, and also reinforce the status of the United States as a leader in shark conservation. Thank you, Samantha. Thanks for writing, Samantha. Actually, I agree. They are now saying that fins from more than 70 million sharks wind up somewhere in the global market. Some use it for different soups. Some actually just cut off part of the shark fin and then let the shark go, which is known as finning, and then the shark essentially dies. And now we've got a number of endangered and threatened sharks around the world. And the good news is we have 240 co-sponsors of this bill now in the House. I'm one of them. That's more than 218 that's needed to actually pass it on the House floor. I'm hoping this will move forward in the near future, and it needs to move forward first in committee and then to the House floor. Next up, we got another email from Bloomington, and Kelsey emails in, Dear Congressman Paulsen, no one should have to choose between leaving an abuser and then protecting a beloved pet. The Pet and Women's Safety Act would expand domestic violence protections to include pets and provide resources for victims to safely shelter pets from abuse. Please co-sponsor this vital legislation. Sincerely, Kelsey. Kelsey, thank you for sharing your thoughts on this. This is actually a very big problem because victims of domestic violence can sometimes be reluctant to leave their abusers if they think they're going to have to leave their pet behind. And so the abuser uses that to penalize the victim. The legislation you mentioned, the PAWS Act, I am a co-sponsor of. We also have 250 co-sponsors. It's really important to help domestic violence abuse victims because it gives grants to making sure that these victims can take their pets with them in terms of safe housing and safe resources and leave the abuser. So hopefully this legislation will also move forward with bipartisan support. Thanks for joining. Have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week. Continue to stay in touch on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, of course on the website, paulsen.house.gov.